Hi, Boa. Welcome to 10 Minute Talks. I'm Harshadeva.
Today, I have the great privilege of welcoming a remarkable Gandhian activist whose life has been dedicated to nonviolence, democracy, and grassroots social transformation for more than 5 decades. Our guest, Kumar Shubhmoorty, began his journey as a student activist at the age of 19. Inspired by Mahatma Gandhi, Vinoba Bhave, and Jayaprakash Narayan, he chose not to pursue political power but instead dedicated his life to working alongside ordinary people and marginalized communities. Over the years, he has helped build youth movements, promoted land justice, strengthened women's empowerment, and advanced Gandhian constructive work across India. Through his leadership of the Bhudan movement, the grassroots organization Samudaya, he has demonstrated that lasting social change begins not in the government offices but with communities themselves. At a time when many societies are experiencing growing polarization and division, his lifelong journey offers an important reminder that nonviolence is not simply a philosophy, it is a practical way of transforming society. Kumarji, it is truly an honor to welcome you.
My first question is you began your activism at the age of 19 and have dedicated more than 5 decades to social change. Looking back, what was the moment or experience that convinced you this work become your life's work?
Yes, so I would like to point out two, 3 points. First is my education in my childhood. That was a education adopting Gandhian methods, using constructive work to learn things. So that gave me a education, emotional education, practical education to serve the society and to understand the difficulties of society. First thing was that. Then I came in contact with few books. One book I will like to mention that the Tolstoy book, The Slavery of Our Age. The old kind of slavery are different, but in our age, Tolstoy pointed out that state Rajya, state is becoming stronger and is trying to suppress the people, suppress the freedom. So we have to counter this kind of slavery. That appealed me much. And then the atmosphere of my family, discussion with my father. My father was a Gandhian freedom fighter. So I talked with, he was regularly talking with us, telling stories, different kinds of. So that also had impact on me. I came in contact with communist ideology also, but then I got that ideology is not that important, not that successful, or not that rich as Gandhian ideology, Gandhian methods. Maybe the aim is the same that we have to make the society classless and more importantly, stateless. But the method adopted by communism or communist parties were wrong, and the method adopted by Gandhian ideology is much better. So, realizing these things and going through the history of my country's freedom struggle, I decided that I have to do this work in my whole life. And this life is only worth when I will do this. Doing job by being and becoming a doctor or engineer is less worth, not bad, but less worth. And this is the most worthy thing which I should dedicate my life for.
Wonderful. My next question is Kumar, nonviolence is often misunderstood as passive or weak. Mm. How do you define nonviolence and why do you believe it's remain as one of the most powerful tools for social and political transformation?
It's just a wrong perception that nonviolence is for weak. Nonviolence is for weak also, but for strongest also. It can make non-violence can make weak very strong, and the people who are strong they can use non-violence for equally well. So non-violence, if you are inactive, then it's violence or non-violence is weak. But you can use non-violence for the greater strength. It is proved by Indian freedom struggle. Whenever people get violence, then the state can suppress them. Violence can be defeated by stronger violence, but non-violence cannot be defeated by any any kind of violence. So it's a stronger force, and it has been proved by activities of Mahatma Gandhi or Jayaprakash Narayan, or there are many movements now in India which has been run by non-violent force. So it's beyond doubt that it's a weak power. Yeah, it's a strength of weak. Now, violence is generally defined, and I can define that I will not attack my enemy. I will attack his mind, his heart. Attack by my gesture, my words, my activities. I will like to influence his thinking, influence his emotions. That be more human. Whatever you are doing is wrong. Realize it. So in that way, violence works, and I think that violence is can be defined in this way. No hatred. If you can have love for your opposition, that's best. But if not love, then at least not hatred. You can think that you are wrong, so I am helping you to become a right person. In that spirit, non-violence works. And this is non-violence. Not only by deed, but by emotions also, by thinking also, in words also. You have to be loving. That's non-violence.
All right, thank you. Kumar, looking at the current political climate in India, what do you think young activists can learn from the Gandhian tradition of constructive work, nonviolence, and grassroots engagement? What guidance would you offer the next generation?
In India, the situation is that non-violence should give more emphasis on satyagraha in present days. Satyagraha against wrongdoings of the government, wrong legislations, misuse of constitutional institutions. Constructive work today is only to strengthen yourself. Your, you be more strong from inside. You can do constructive work. But in society today, the satyagraha is needed more. In India also, and I am not so much acquainted with Sri Lankan situation. But as the government here is more authoritarian, it's a kind of fascist government. So satyagraha is more important today as far as Gandhian technique is concerned. And the constructive work is used mainly to strengthen the people who are offering satyagraha, make people strong from inside, that I can face anything without violence, to prepare oneself. Constructive work is for that. It's a, you can call it constructive work is parade for the army. Army prepares itself for the war, but before that, army does parade and other things. So constructive work is that kind of thing for satyagrahis or the non-violent people in action. So constructive work can make them stronger. In that way, we use constructive work. And in India, if I have to suggest constructive work, Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhi had prescribed the correct the electoral roll. The voter's name is there or not. If someone is left out, that he has to be or she has to be included. The government or government in power try to exclude people from the electoral list who are not in favor of them. So it should not be there, and people, non-violent workers, should be particular that the voting right must be exercised by all the citizens, maybe belonging to any party or any thought. So one of the constructive work what Gandhi suggested was this, that correct the electoral law. So presently in India, that is most relevant, and I cannot tell about Sri Lanka. But another thing, that in any situation, you have to be aware of the processes going on society, injustices going on society, and know the history of your country, freedom struggle. So knowing all these things, you may be aware about your society. Then you can work non-violently better. If you are not knowing your society, not have not studied the past history of your society, the character of your society, then you cannot act non-violently properly. So you have to know your society. You have to read your books, your writing, old writing, ancient writings, present days analysis by different historians or analytical analysis, political writers. So if you don't, if you not read, then you cannot become a better non-violent. You can say that activist. So know the situation, make yourself aware, and know your country, know your people, know the culture of your people, the history of your people in the past, how they have faced the problems, how they have overcome the problems. So all these things has to be known by a non-violent activist. So this is very important, and we must go through these. It's a kind of study, not only history but philosophy also. Every society has its own philosophy that has to be known by the non-violent activist. And apart from that, the actions like uh, electoral roll, it should be done at the time of election. We should non-violent activists should see that everyone is going to the polling booth for exercising his right to vote. These things are there. And if you have to count other constructive works, the cleaning of the house or of the mahalla, ward, of the road, going to the poor, serving them what is their problem, helping them. If they are ill, you can take them to the doctors, you can get them treated. So these types of constructive work you can do, which are very important also, and which will strengthen your nonviolent effect. So I think that you can explore this in many ways.
Thank you, Kumar. Thank you very much for this inspirational discussion. Thank you very much.